everybody, and welcome to another Saturday night here with me, Peter Driver from Piscari Fly. We're here in Thomastown, Kilkenny, Ireland, and it's another night of fly tying, bit of crack, bit of chat, and so we all might learn something along the way. Hope everyone's had a good week. It's been, well, 2 weeks really, because it's been 2 weeks since we've been here. Last weekend, I was over in Wales at the Welsh D, and we'll talk a bit about that as we go on. How you doing? Graham Lanigan is on there with us, Patrick Burke. Dave Donovan is on with us there. Liam Long, Darius is on with us there. Graham Reggie Reynolds, how you doing, Graham? Who else have we got on with us there tonight? Brian Kennedy, Jared Linehan's on with us there. Tony Roonan, Gianluca, how you doing, Luca? I hope you're keeping well, my friend. Great to see everyone back on there. Patrick Smith, Ken Dunn, Terry Evans, how you doing, Terry? Sorry we missed you, Terry, at the Welsh D last weekend. Hope everything's well for you. How you doing, Farkas? Desmond Paul is on with us there. Robert Flaherty, Robert Berry, how you doing? Great to see so many people back on. Hope everybody's keeping well, getting ready for the Christmas, and getting all that shopping and stuff out of the way. How you doing, Robert? Robert Flaherty. But say it's been, we didn't get live last week because we were over in the Welsh D. And congratulations to the English veterans, Lindsay Simpson and his team, for winning the Welsh D. Of course, our very own Mark Driver and Roger Fowler and Darius Simkis got third podium. Fantastic result. Well done, guys. We weren't too far behind us. We were fourth. Tough weekend, cold, but it was good. How you doing, Jerry? How you doing, Garrick? How you doing, Kevin Maher? Richard O'Connor's on with us there as well. How you doing, Richard? Tony Daly. How you doing, Tony? So tonight is going to be a pulling night. Okay, now I know we pull dabblers and there's lots of other lock style flies, and our special guest tonight is going to tie two absolutely amazing pulling flies as well. Okay, how you doing, Dylan? Dylan's on with us there. Happy birthday, by the way, Dylan. Dylan's birthday was there a couple of days ago, and it was an absolute pleasure, probably the highlight of my week. Billy Boland's on there as well. How you doing, Billy? But met up with Dylan Roberts in the Welsh D last weekend, and we had a great old chat on Saturday morning in the cold. How you doing, Thomas Huckran? In the cold breeze, blowing up the Welsh D. But yeah, definitely lovely to meet you, Dylan, and look forward to getting back and having a cast with you soon. Congratulations on winning the flies, and thanks for the lovely gift. But yeah, so tonight's all about pulling, but these flies are a little bit different than our typical. How you doing, Graham Connolly? Jim Myler, how you doing? Good man, Robert. Roberts is Captain Morgan and Coke and Life Flight. No better way to spend a Saturday evening. Terry Phillips is on with us there as well. Terry sent me over some amazing videos during the weeks, folks, and they're going to be coming up in the next couple of shows. I'm going to save them for something. But how you doing, Terry? How you doing, David? But yeah, so this is about pulling, but it's not your stereotypical what we call dabblers and stuff like that. They have a bit of a twist. The picture I put up during the week, Thursday or Friday, with those flies. Farkas is from Romania. How you doing, Farkas? How you doing, James? You know, there's a little bit of a twist to these. Now, these are more based towards the likes of Loch Ool, Loch Ennel, fisheries that have some wild fish, but also have stocked fishing as well. Now, they work for wild fish just as well as they work for stocked fish, and they work quite well in bank fishing as well. How you doing, Declan Noonan? Good to have you on with us there. So, you know, an interesting couple of patterns coming up here. We got our guest tyer on tonight. It's Desmond Paul. He's going to tie two amazing pulling flies. There will be no flies given away tonight, folks, by the way. All the flies that are tied tonight, along with another couple of flies that I've picked, will be sent to Desmond Paul for his charity box to raise awareness and funds for cancer research and mental health, which is very important. So all the flies tonight will be going towards Desmond's charity event that'll be coming up in the new year. But still, please share the stream and sit back, enjoy. If you're like Robbie Berry, pour yourselves a cold one with a few drops of ice cubes or whatever your tipple is, and we'll get into some fly tying. Okay, so hi to all our YouTubers for tomorrow. This will be live up on YouTube tomorrow, folks, and I hope you all enjoy the show. Anyone got any comments or anything, please shoot them across. In the voice here, I got a size 10 Camazan B175, and I'm putting a bit of Kevlar on there. Okay, so this first pattern is a take on a stimulator pattern that I've been tying for the last couple of years. How you doing, Betty? Betty Hayes is on there. James Hope is on. How you doing, Alan Lawless? Alan looking for something for a dare tomorrow. I won't make a dare tomorrow. AWOL is on tomorrow, folks. The third leg of AWOL is on tomorrow. I won't make a dare because we've been so. How you doing? Mick is on there with us. Brian Canty's on as well. But we're building a new website here in Piscari Fly at the moment, and it's a little bit manic trying to get it up and going. A lot of products have to be photographed and worked and things done, and all way outside my technical ability. So I have people coming in to help me. So we've been flat out at it there for the last couple of days, and flat out there for the last couple of days, and tomorrow in the shop working, so have to do it. So I'm going to miss AWOL, but best luck to all the AWOLers tomorrow. I hope you have a great day and get a couple of trout. I'm sure you will. Down at Dare Springs, Nenmar's place. It's it's a fantastic fishery. Big show coming up there early next year, folks. The Irish angling or the Irish Springs Fly Fair is going to be up there. We're going to come down to that show. We're going to be tying flies, doing talks on nymphing and different things. And it's going to be a great show to be at. So don't miss that one. Keep an eye out. They've got a Facebook page going there at the moment, giving a bit of a like. So this is a stimulator, take on a stimulator pattern that for Lockwood, tried and tested by a lot of anglers and well worth its place in your fly box. A little bit of white marabou here for a tail. So I got a normal long. How you doing, John Ditch? Kieran Sherlock's on there. So got a long piece of marabou there, and I'm going to break it. Okay, I'm not going to cut it. I always rather break it, just to keep that kind of natural look to that tail. Okay, we don't want the long tail on this, but we want, what I do then is I catch the other side of the feathers and I trim off all those little curly bits that come off the main stem, and then strip it back a bit, just to thin it out, so when I tie it in, it doesn't overbulk the fly. Okay, like so. Yes, James, there is tickets. The website is up and running. You can buy tickets, or you can buy tickets on the gate. Gonna lash in that there. When you're putting in a marabou tail like that, give it a good lashing. Make sure it's good and strong, and it's not going to twist or move on you. Pluck off any more lengths you want. You got a nice bit of density in that tail. How you doing, Thomas? Thomas Anquetel is on with us there. Good man, Thomas. How you doing, Peter? Peter Wadding's on there, was there as well. So nice bit of density in the tail, because when that gets wet, like marabou's, we all know, it tends to thin out a little bit. Now I'm going to put a bit of sparkle here and there, and I got 3 different types of sparkle. Okay, I got UV, pearl, I got a bit of silver, and I got my little bit of red, hence holographic. Okay, and I'm going to mix up the 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull off, and I'm going to take about 2 inches of each, and I'm going to lay them on top of each other. Just a little subtle bit. And I just like this mix. I say this is a fly really has been well tried and tested, especially Lockwool, by myself and plenty of other anglers. So once I've got my 3 strands, we're going to tie that in there. So when I talk about these as being pulling flies, and say let's compare them to the likes of you can see those 3 colours going in there now. How you doing, Jason? Jason Reardon's on with us as well. Jason will be on with us at some stage, folks, over the series, doing a bit of bass fishing. That these are for really pulling, really stripping fast, hard. When the fish are chasing and they're looking for something like fry imitations and something to make a bit of noise. And this fly is that top dropper, or sometimes that point fly, depending on the way I want the whole team of flies to fish. The 3 flies I'm tying for you tonight is a team in a certain way, and we'll talk a bit more about that as we go along through the tying session tonight. But just get a bit of silver wire here. It's got a bit of heavy silver wire. From the end. There we go. The silver wire, add that in there. Lash it in well up the body. Secure it all in well. Leave your Kevlar thread, that's Kevlar or Piscari Fly Kevlar. Leave that out of the way, and then switch over to Glow Bright number 4. And throw in a bit of Glow Bright number 4. Glow Bright number 4 is the underbody. Okay, so once you got a layer of Glow Bright number 4 underneath it, nice even layer, we'll finish that off, take it away. By the way, folks, we've picked the date for our Christmas special. Our Christmas special will be on Wednesday, the 29th of December. It will start at 8 p.m. because it's going to be a little bit of a long. How you doing, Norman? How you doing, Tony Rooney? It's going to be a little bit of a longer show as always. We've got some special guests on. We got loads of massive giveaways. A couple of absolutely amazing giveaways coming up this year for the Christmas special. So make sure you put that date in your calendar. Wednesday the 29th at 8 p.m. We will, excuse me, we will put up a few posts saying coming up. That'll be a bit of crack that night. Got some great videos, some great guests lined up. And if anybody wants to, and we'd love you to send in some videos, send in a couple of Christmas wishes from all over the world, all our friends and followers, and wish everybody a happy Christmas. You know, it's been a tough couple of years on people, and some, you know, it's nice at the time this time of year that we come together a bit and just, you know, concentrate on the simple things in life and what's important, and wish each other happy Christmas. So what I've got here now is the dubbing I'm putting in is ultraviolet. Okay, Saboya ultraviolet superfine UV dubbing, and I'm going to put that over that red. And when that gets wet, the colour is amazing. You're not going to see it on camera, but I tell you one thing, folks, when that thing gets wet, the colour that comes out of that body is unbelievable. Don't need to go all the way up. Just that's enough. Plenty there. How you doing, Mark? Mark Williams is on there with us. Great to meet you the weekend, Mark. Hope you're keeping well. Met Mark Williams on the Welsh Tea as well. A white cock saddle here. And we're going to add that in. Don't forget, if anyone hasn't seen one of our hampers is up on Facebook at the moment for grabs, and it's a like and share competition. Where there are over 250, lots of goodies in there. Make sure you go on, like and share, and tag a couple of buddies. The draw for that will be done next Wednesday night, and then we will have our second hamper going after that. It's just a little bit of a thank you from us here in Prescari Fly to all our customers and our followers and people that support us here. Just give a little something back. It's always nice to give something back, and we really do appreciate you all. So I got some nice hampers and lots of stuff coming up over the Christmas for you. So once I've tied in that bit of white palmer tackle, I'm going to get me dubbing brush and I'm going to stroke it back a bit, especially on the top. And you see, I've stopped quite short of the eye there with everything. We're going to have another bit of work there doing Niall Chromie, how do I get this on TV? Chromecast or share it onto you if you've got a what you call a TV, smart TV. You should be able to go straight into Facebook and do it, Niall. Now let me just get my trail of thought here. White deer hair. Of course, I left the deer hair stacker down below, but a little bit of natural white deer hair, I'll survive without it. Stacker. I normally would stack it a bit. How you doing, Martin Kenny? Hope everyone's keeping well. Everyone's have a good week. Everyone survived that storm. Little pinch of deer hair. White, of course. I left the stacker downstairs, so I'm just plucking out, getting it fairly decent for you. I say all tonight's flies will be heading over to Desmond Paul for his charity. So I won't be putting these up for grabs during the week, folks. So once I got them tied in, I still hold on to my wing and I trim up them, the waist ends. A couple of lashings in there just to tidy it all up and make sure it's well secure. Now if your wing flares, that wing is not too bad, but if the wing flares up a bit, catch the tips, stroke them back, catch the tips, and start massaging the deer hair like that. Okay, it will help them sit down. If your deer hair, it's not too bad. I'm happy enough with it. But if your deer hair starts to, you can start massaging it in there just by catching tips and stroking it back like that, and it'll get it to sit down that little bit tighter to your body. There's one of those. Where's there? I want to trim back. Dave is on with us tonight with another trivia quiz, of course. We got a lovely spot prize for you tonight. Graham Lanigan has, I think, opened up 15 Google pages there, ready to go. Graham, I hope you're fast on the trigger tonight. A little bit of a grizzle saddle feather in there. Cock saddle feather for a head. Now, there's a couple of ways to finish off this fly, folks. You can do with your typical Gianluca, I'll have to check for you. I think I do have white. How you doing, Ricky Croak? I'll have to check for you. I think there is white deer hair down there. I'm not 100% sure, but I think there is off the top of my head. Sorry, folks, I'm actually gone a step ahead of myself, as I always do. We're going to put in the same bit of flash that we put into the tail. Okay, so we're going to take a couple of, or 3 strands of, we're not overdressing this fly. You can fall into that trap of overdressing with flash and stuff like that. We just want a subtle little bit of flash in there. So my silver, my red holographic, and the pearl, the UV pearl, I'm putting a couple of inches in there, and we're going to tie that in there with the wing as well. Just catch our 3 strands in there and back over there. Lovely. Lovely job. Just get in there and just snip them out roughly. You don't want them all the same length. You want them to kind of marry to that fly lovely. Now, then we go back to our grizzle. So if you were doing a stereotypical stimulator, you'd put your red or orange or whatever dubbing in there, and then you'd bring up that grizzle up over it and through it, should I say, and that'd be complete. And that is quite a good fly. We have another little twist to this fly yet. So a little bit of, now when I'm doing this red or whatever near the head, I always make sure it's a fine. So it's a rabbit. This is a rabbit red dubbing with a little bit of spectra mixed through it. Okay, and as you can see, I tie it up there, still away from the hook. Okay, so still have a little bit of a gap there, and I take my grizzly and I bring it up through the red. 3 or 4 turns should be plenty. Lovely. Now you can finish off, finish that stimmy, and absolutely it will certainly catch an awful lot of fish. That deer hair, something to make, and this is to make an awful lot of noise. If I was going to fish it as a point fly, depending on the way I want to fish it, or I wanted to fish, I could finish it at that and fish it on the point, fish it on a top dropper, make a lot of noise. You can tie in white deer hair for the tail, but not for this particular pattern. I like the white marabou, a bit softer and has a little bit more vibration, a bit more movement in it. We're talking about fish chasers. If this was a point fly, I want that little bit of movement. I want that little bit of vibration there, just to help me encourage the fish to take it. I'm going to trim off the top of these, just like so. Just clear a bit of room there for yourself, okay? No need for those top ones. Just, you don't take them all out, but take a few. And we're going to take a little set of booby eyes. These are 3mm booby eyes, kind of a pink. Yellow can be quite good too. Yellow booby eyes can be quite good too. Pre-made, just I make them myself on a needle. We've showed this before, so I'm just not going to waste your time tonight. And we got a bit of time to get through tonight, and we got our guest tire on, so going to lash them in up there at the head. Just trimmed off a bit of that top grizzly to give me a bit of room. Figure of 8 and through the gap, down under the hook, getting them nicely set in. And by the way, is there any fly tires out there that want to donate to Desmond Paul's? Please get in touch with Desmond Paul. He's on Facebook there, guys, and great man for doing that work. And I probably would, Kieran. Whip finishing there. You're not finished just yet. Those boobies' eyes will twist if you don't get them stuck in there. I can tell you that. I tell you one thing, folks. If anyone out there fishing Loch Ool, fish that fly next year, and you can thank me afterwards. An absolute cracker. A little bit of Zap-A-Gap. Turn the fly upside down. It has to be stuck in there, because there is a risk of that booby eye twisting on you. So I just get my Zap-A-Gap with my needle. Take a little bit off the brush. A little bit more. Get that little blob on the end of your needle, as you can see, and just hit underneath there. That'll soak right up into the trade and up around it, those booby eyes, and stop them from twisting on you. And very good. And there we have it. White stimulator, a little bit of a twist. Hey Tim, hope you're keeping well. Absolutely, Robert. Brilliant fly for the fry feeders. Great for Lochgool, Lochlean. I'm sure it'll work in an awful lot of other places. But it's an absolute fantastic. That body, I tell you, when you see it wet, that body is just, it's amazing coming out with that red underneath the Spectre or the UV fine Spectre Dublin. Fantastic pull and fly. These are stuff that I'd absolutely pull. Like if I'm pulling these flies, I'm pulling them so fast. You know, you're knackered, like, you know. Thanks, Patrick. Well, absolutely, Desmond Paul's on the same pole and left static. It can be left static as well. Absolutely, on a washing line system or something like that, still waters. But, you know, if I'm normally fishing something like that in Lochgool in a big wave, and when the fish are chasing, and you got those kind of stockies, you got some browns in there, you got overwintered fish, it's also going to create a lot of noise if it's a top dropper. And the other two flies that are going to come now in a few minutes, I'm going to talk about them, a middle fly and a point fly, if I'm fishing this one on a top dropper. But definitely, there's no question about it, folks. Have to have in the box for next year for those Midlands. Chris Oliver, absolutely. A brass bead would be great to get those deeper fish. We're going to tie some beaded stuff after the break, Christopher. Chris, we're going to head over now, folks, to Desmond Paul. He tied me up. I asked him, as always, he's been a great supporter of the show. And I asked him to tie me up another couple of crackers. We all know he's a fantastic flighter and Patreon to Irish Flight Time. And he tied up... I watched him a couple of weeks ago, forgot to download him, had to ask him for him again. I actually sat down today to watch two flies again. Fantastic flight there. Two beautiful patterns. So we're going to head over to Desmond Paul for a couple of patterns. I'm going to be back in a few minutes. I got two more. I got the other two flies off this cast to tie for those Midland Lakes. Don't miss them. They're going to go up a couple of gears after this one. So please come back to us. Anyone's got any questions, right, and stick them up there, and I'll see you all real soon. Click a few buttons.
Thanks, Peter, and hello, everybody. Good to be back at the tie-in again. So Peter has asked me to tie up a pulling fly for the lochs. So let's see if we can get a couple done here, if the time allows. Pulling flies for me will be dobblers, mainly. Dobblers, Peters and Bumbles would be what I would consider pulling flies. So just hook in the vise is a Camazon B175, size 10. The thread is an orange waxed from Semperfly. I'm just going to tie on a little kind of mirage butt section. Turn my face upside down. It makes it easier to tie into the bend of the hook. Just tie that off. I didn't tell you what the fly is. It's going to be a sooty dabbler, or my version of a sooty dabbler. Good early season fly. Along with the tag or the butt, the tail is in two parts. First one is glow bright orange number 6. So I just take a section, wrap it around my finger, slice it and open the fibers out. on top. A couple of turns. Just going to trim that off quite short because we're putting a section of bronze mallard on as well. And so the next part of the tail is bronze mallard dyed dark olive. Just take a section about twice the length of the glow bright. And just tie that forward. Trim it off, just taper it down a bit. And on the way back down, you're going to tie in 2 ribs. The first one is the same mirage type material that we tied for the butt. And the other will be a bit of uni gold oval. Could use gold wire if you wished. Drop that in. I should actually put those 2 ribs on the other way around. Gold first, but there we go, first mistake of the night. The body is sooty olive. This is Vicuna sooty olive XB, which is basically a little bit of extra black put into it. I like it quite dark. So we'll lightly dub. Don't want it too heavy. Quite like the orange thread. Showing through. So we'll take our mirage rib and just stretching it a little bit. And I'll bring this up in quite open turns. Just want 3 or 4 turns. Cross the thread, turn in front to lock it in, and a couple for safety. Trim that off. I'm just going to take my little Velcro brush. Let's loosen up that dubbing a bit. So, hackle, 2 hackles. Body hackle is going to be dark olive, as dark as you have. Let's get rid of some of the fluff. Secure that in. One turn, and then quite open coming down the body, just in between the ribs as we get to the tail. Catch it in with the gold. oval. To the head, bring your thread up along with the rib, pinch it in and secure it. Break off the hackle. You just give that a little rough up. So the second hackle is just a hand hackle at the head. Again, this is grizzle and dyed dark olive. It's going to tie it in by the tip. Fold it back. Break that off. We'll just put a couple of turns in here. You could make this, you make it as light or as heavy as you want. Just want turns. A bit of wax again. I do my dabbler wings slightly different from Peter, so I take my bronze mallard feather, I take a small set, maybe half a centimetre or so, and I will tie this in as a throat hackle, I suppose you would call it. Trim that off. And then I take two sections. I'll have to use another feather, so almost a centimetre, I guess. And I lay them one on top of the other, like so. And tie them in on top, pinch and loop. It's not looking too bad. Just hold everything there for a second. Just trim off that excess. Tie down those loose ends, and then just for a little bit of bling at the end, you take some goose biot, or biot, I'm not sure how they pronounce it, but take two fibres. On each side. Tie down to the eye and then I fold them back. Fold the cut ends back. Not plain Paul. Just go back a bit. Put the wax on. Extra grip. And just grab the cut end, keep your tying thread tight. And hold your breath. And we can finish. The touch of varnish completes, and that is my sooty dabbler. Very good early season fly, and will work right through the season. The sooty dabbler. Hope you enjoyed that one, and we'll see if we can get a little bonus one done if time allows. Again, the same hook, B175. And we'll go with the same thread. And down to the tail area. Tail will be a bit of bronze mallard. It's going to be quite light, this mallard, because it's what I want it to do is represent a shrimp pattern. So I'm going to put a dubbing loop, tie a dubbing loop there while we're down. Wind forward. On the way back down, I'm going to tie in a section of flexi floss. Just going to stretch that as we tie it as we wind down. And your thread back to the eye. Underbody is orange holographic. Basically, this pattern is a shrimp pattern. So the early season, when they're feeding on shrimps and hog lice and that type of food source. Winder tinsel down. And bring it back up. This is how I tie all my tinsel bodies. If you leave a gap on the way down or miss a spot, at least you can cover it on the way back up. Just tie that off. Now I'm just going to bring this flexi-floss rib up. I'm going to stretch it out first for the first turn. Then as you're coming up, just ease off the pressure. Nice open turns. Tie it in at the head. Now we're going to create our body, or create our, almost our hackle, and I'm going to use a fiery brown. This is vicuna. You'd use seals fur or whatever, SLF or something like that, and together with the dubbing I'm going to use a bit of ice dub, and this is rusty brown. So this is adds a bit of sparkle in. I'm just going to blend those quickly. So we'll take our dubbing loop. Set our dubbing in. I've got my little spinner here. I'll hook on. And give it a spin. I'm just holding the thread here below until it we'll have our dubbing brush, so to speak. I'm just going to wind that up. An extra turn at the head. Trim that off. And there we get our little Velcro brush. It's a coffee stirrer and some Velcro stuck to it. And really working those dubbing, get it all pulled out. Obviously you can see that underbody through it. Hope you can get that on the camera. Now I'm just going to get a brown partridge hackle. I'll pull the fluff off. Put this in by the tip. Hold it back. break off the tip. Just grab this with the pliers just to keep my fingers out of the way. And again, just stroke the fibres back. Couple of turns. Secure that stamp, break it away. And stroke those down. Now we just need to put it a little almost dabbler back on it. Just going to use one section this time. Let's fold it over. Chin it. Couple of turns. Turn at the eye. Trim away. Steady up the head. So we'll finish again. And that is my little orange shrimp dabbler. Excellent early season on the tail, bouncing it off the stones. Whenever those trout are in, concentrating on whole grouse and shrimp. There we go, a good one to have in your box, especially if you're out in March, April time. And thanks very much. See you again.
There we have it, folks. That was Desmond Paul on with us there. Wow, two absolutely amazing pulling patterns there. A bit more traditionalized than what I'm doing tonight. But fantastic. That second fly, that the body of that second fly just completely wow. Fantastic. Brilliant. Thanks a million, Desmond Paul. Don't forget, folks, Desmond Paul has a charity thing going at the moment. Any fly tires out there that want to donate to it, please get in touch with them on Facebook and send over the flies. And it's for cancer research and mental health, two very important topics. Fantastic, isn't it? Brilliant to be able to see fly tires like that, to watch fly tires like that type flies. It's memorizing. I've been sitting here for the last 24 minutes. It was 24.3 something minutes long, just watching that. And I've seen that twice before already. Absolutely amazing to be able to facilitate something like that. And I hope he's all really enjoyed it. Fantastic tying by Desmond. Thanks a million for that, and thanks for your contribution. As everyone that contributes to the show, it's fantastic. It's not just about us here in Biscari Fly, it's about fly tying, fly fishing. It's about having some way to have a chat and have a crack, and let people come on and tie flies and stuff like that. So it's great to have Desmond on with us there every year, and for the last 2 years we've been going. He's doing some amazing stuff there, so well done. All right, so we're going to move on to our next fly, and this fly is the one that was on the picture. If anyone saw the Facebook post that I put up of this particular pulling fly, this one, it would be my middle. It can be fished on the middle or the point, but I tend to, on this particular cast that I'm tying tonight for the likes of Lochul and Lochleen, this one would be on the middle. Okay. Brilliant. Thanks a million, Gianluca. Yeah, it really, really was. Yeah, fantastic flight time. Just you could sit and watch that all night there. Someone with that kind of skill set and that lovely traditional tying, beautiful, beautiful tying. So again, marabou tail, broke off the ends, cut off the curlies, and then stripping back some of the core of that to tie it in there. I got a Camazan B175 in the vise. Got a little bit of black tying silk there. Whatever takes your fancy. Again, putting a good lashing on that tail. Make sure it's well trapped in and well secured. Absolutely right, Kieran. Kieran Sherlock's just making a point there that was in my head when I was watching that show. Or that bit from Desmond. We are so blessed. We're so blessed to have such gifted fly tyers and fly fishers indeed here in Ireland. The skill level of some of our fly tyers is just phenomenal. You know, absolutely phenomenal. One little piece of pearl crystal flash either side of that tail, folks. Now we're going to move on and put in a little bit of silver wire. Hope everyone's enjoying the Saturday night. Hope everyone's looking forward to the Christmas coming up. Don't forget our Christmas special. We'll start advertising soon. We'll be up on Wednesday the 29th. And we'll start at 8 p.m. Got loads of guests coming on. But between now and then, we have a dry fly night. So next weekend will be dry fly night. We're going to tie some dry mayflies. We'll kind of mix it up between river and lake next weekend. Some dry mayflies, dry stuff for the river, and remind me now. I'm just here thinking where should I be next. Got some uni mylar pearl here in size 14. If you don't have 14, 12 will do. But yeah, so dry fly night next Saturday night, and then the following Saturday night I won't be live because it's Christmas night. So I won't be live the following Saturday night. And then on the Wednesday the 29th, we will be live with our Christmas special. Go on a bit longer, a bit more crack. Lots of great giveaways. Got a few phone calls during the week there about some spot prizes and stuff for the live show, and it's not one to be missed, trust me, folks. We'll make more announcements as we go through the coming weeks. If anyone wants to send over a Christmas greeting, take a little video, tie a fly, do whatever you want. Say, wish everyone a happy Christmas. It'll be fantastic. And we'll put it up on the shows for the Christmas special. So I'm just going up and down that body. Oh, a little bit of a slip there and I caught the hook. That can often result in a break. But I'll just take it back. So when one layer down, layer back up. And then layer back down again. Pressure on the thread, pressure off the pearl, and clean away. Dave Donovan's on there with his question, folks. Question is going to be the third correct answer this week, okay? So to change it up a bit and jizz it up a bit, give Graham a little bit of extra time to do his Googling. The third correct answer in will win this week, okay? So it's not the first correct answer, it's the third, because we stream across a lot of pages when we do this show. It's not just on the Piscari page, it goes on to Irish Fly Time, it goes on to a whole load of things. Absolutely, Martin Kennedy, Kieran Sherlock puts up an awful lot of nice flies there. It'll be the third correct answer, giving everybody a chance to come in here. And we'll try to slow Brian Kennedy up there. Brian's been cleaning up this year. So we'll try to slow Brian up a bit and we'll go for the third correct answer this year. Dave will be the judge on that one. Little bit of a black cock saddle here going in. And we're going to palmer that down the body. So the third correct answer for today's question, watch out for it there now, folks. It's coming up there very shortly. And when my hands are free, I'll tell you what is going to win. Hi, Dick. Dick Croak is on with us there. Good evening to yourself too, sir. Hope you're keeping well. So bring your wire rib back up through that body, or through that palmered hackle, should I say, and secure it in. Get in there, trim it off. There's something about this fly that has always... Sorry, Brian. We have to try and come up with something to think of something to slow you up there. You're just too good. You're too knowledgeable. But there's something about this fly that every time I open my box, my eye is just almost attracted to it. It has everything. It has that bright tail. It has that lovely kind of green shimmer underbody. The blackness of it. It's a fly that just doesn't work. Not only likes Lough Ool and Lough Lean and places like that. But you know, it'll work anywhere. This is one of those real fishy patterns. Okay, the next thing we're going to add in is a bit more crystal flash. So it's pearl crystal flash. Take out a decent chunk this time, maybe 6 strands, 5 to 6 strands of crystal flash, and add them in on top. Secure them in well, double them over, and fold them back. Just strap all those back there. Make sure they're well secured in. Don't trim them just yet. I was just about to trim them, and don't trim them just yet. Leave them hanging out the back of that fly there for a minute. Hi, Lewis. Lewis Rassazan was there. Good to have you on with us, Lewis. We're live here. If this is your first time, we're live here every Saturday night. Doing all kinds of topics and shows, lots of guest fly tyers, lots of giveaways. Bit of bronze mallard here. We're going to cloak this fly in a bit of bronze mallard. So I've cut off about an inch and a quarter. And I'm going to just cloak that. So 1/3 to my side, 2/3 to your side. And I just cut it, pinch it on top, bring the thread around it loosely, and let that cloak right around. Like so. And you get a nice cloak in there. So I see a lot of numbers come in. I think Dave has asked his question. I'll have to go back here for a second and just look up here so I can just call it out to you. Lots of comments coming in there. Holy moly. The Hannock Railing Festival was held last weekend. How many fish had the winning team? Great question. Lindsay Simpson was the winning team. The English veterans. Who else was on that team with him? If someone can correct me. Steve Cullen. Congratulations, Steve. Was on the winning team. Great to see the guys win it. Fished fantastic over the weekend. It was a tough weekend. God, it was cold. Holy moly, that Sunday. That 3.5 hour session on Sunday was freezing. But great weekend. Great to get over to our Welsh friends. Meet lots of friends and have a bit of chat. Now I'll trim that wing. Once I've got the cloak in, I'll trim that wing just in around the same length. And again, I'm just getting in there, snipping, making sure it's nice and uneven. And this is a lovely wing in underneath that. You should, Dylan. You should. Dylan Roberts there, one of the organisers. Fair play to you. Huel Morgan, the main instigator for that competition. Fair play to you, Huel. Fantastic event to go to every year. We've been lucky to be there for the last number of years, and it's always been a great trip. One we look forward to every year. Little bit of extra bronze mallard now, and we're just going to fold that over, give it a little bit of a double fold, and we're going to place that in on top. Pinch, pull down, just to enhance that top wing. I don't know if anyone's got it right yet, but Dave will let me know soon. Don't forget, it's the 3rd correct answer, folks. It could be a long night. It's not the first correct answer. And how many answers are we on, Dave? So, Graham Lanigan's doing a lot of Googling there now, Graham. Picking his moment. He has to be the 3rd one in. So once we got that wing, that lovely primary wing and over the top, we're then going to take the jungle cock cheeks and we're going to add them in. I'm watching it closely here now. It's fairly close here now as regards who's going to get that correct answer. By the way, folks, what we have for your prize tonight is a whole selection of Perdigon buzzer quills. It's a wrap. Fantastic stuff. Really good stuff. And have a lot of fun playing around with that there during the week. So I've added a bit of jungle cock on that side, and I'm going to add another bit on this side. Thanks, Januka. Januka's keeping us updated there on Katie. Katie's doing a great job. Oh, girl, Katie. Start at the front of the head, work your way back, making sure we get a nice clean head. And that's pretty tasty. What a beautiful fly. Very attractive. Has everything going for it. A natural black, the bit of jungle cock, and then that bright yellow tail. That's yellow, bright yellow marabou tail there. on that one. So looking forward to that one, Dylan. Yeah, Panic 2022 is all planned out, ready to go. Fantastic job you guys do over there, that competition. Looking forward to it already. A little bit of varnish on the head of that one. Again, when you're tying the tail, don't be afraid to be a little bit excessive on tail, folks, because when that tail gets wet, it's gonna slim right down. Okay, that right there now is an absolute peach of a fly for the likes of old Enel. Thanks, Tony. Just gonna give it a little bit of a dampen so you can see that tail. That thing will move, and the pictures, the video's not doing a complete lot of justice, but an absolute fantastic fly. Again, well tried and tested. Thanks, Graham. Really, really, really fantastic fly. Great fly. Has everything going for it. Even though with that bright yellow tail, it still has a very natural look about it. A cracker. So that's going into the box there for Desmond. That's heading to Desmond. Now, final fly for tonight, folks. This is the real depth finder. Someone mentioned earlier on that we're going to talk about that. For those deep fish, this is the one. This is some of the fishes. I can tell you. They'll get sick of tying these things. Thanks, Harold. Harold, another great Irish fly tyer there. Over in the west of Ireland on Loch Corrib. Size 8 Camazan B175. Oh, really getting into the dirty stuff for Loch Cool. What thread do I need for this? I need Kevlar. Reading all the comments. Lots of guesses coming in there. Thanks, Kieran. Lots of guesses coming in there. I don't know if anyone's got it right or has the third correct answer got it right yet. Dave hasn't emailed me back or text, I don't think, and said it's got there. So this is a B chain eye. Now you can tie this with single eye. If you're into your tournament fishing, you can tie it with a single eye, but for the purpose of the video and for the recreational anglers, we're going to tie it with a double eye. Okay, so got a bit of B chain just after snipping it off there with pliers. You can get the B chain in your fly shop, your local hardware, Dunn stores, pennies. I've often been stuck for a bit of B chain, and you can pick up a little bit very handy when you need to. Bit of B chain in there, a couple of good figures of 8 with Kevlar, secured in really well. Darius Simkis is in with 32. So that means Darius won it, is it? A little bit of Zappa Gap. Turn the fly upside down. A little bit of Zappa Gap and get it in there to make sure that doesn't twist. Well secured in. And come down the fly. Now, okay, we got 2 tails going in here, folks. First tail is going to be a bit of flat UV pearl, as you can see. Don't know where I picked this stuff up over the years, but it's a little bit of flat UV pearl. And we're going to take off a nice little pinch of this, and I'm going to explain why we put 2 tails on this one as we go through the fly. So Darius won. Darius Simkis is our winner. Congratulations, Darius. We'll get that selection pack out to you during the week. Well done. And we're going to tie that in there first. Make sure it stays on top of the hook. Secured and well. Double it back. And tie it down. Trap it in well. I normally give it a bit of moisten just to stop it from moving too much. A little bit of black marble. Again, as before, take off a generous amount. I line up the tips by just breaking them off. Don't use the scissors because it takes away that natural look to that, the natural finish the tail once wet. Strip out the and tie it in there. Bit of a longer marabou tail on this one. This is basically humongous, guys, with a little bit of a twist on it. Okay, once we got the tail in there, we'll then catch hold of all of our UV pearl, and again, we're looking for that unnatural cut. Okay, make sure that tail is directly over that pearl. So basically what happens is when that fly is swimming, moving through the water like that. If there's a fish chasing it and following it, at one stage that tail will flap up and what they'll see is the UV underneath. Okay, I'll wait in a moment and show you. See that lovely subtle UV underneath and that flash. And often I can tell you a different colour underneath, an olive or something like that. But that bit of a flash or a bit of a colour change can entice a trout just to say, oh, that's the one I'm looking for. And take it. So directly underneath, not on the sides. Very important. Okay. Rib here is again silverware. Oh, a bit over. Now for the body here, I've got this UV silver straggle. A lot of people would know this from it's Solerini. A lot of people would know this from one of my dabblers that I do. We do have it available in store. Got it there recently, thank God. An awful lot of people used to ask me what's in that silver dabbler, and wasn't able to get it, but I've got a load of it in there now. So it's in store. It's on our website, www.scarifly.com. Make sure and check it out if you're looking for it in this Christmas to stock up and be ready for a lot of fly tying this Christmas. I'm going to bring that up the body. Of course, if something there you don't see or you want some advice, don't ever be afraid or shy to give us a bell or even call in and see us. We love when people call in to see us here. Stick on the kettle, have an old chat. Wrap that up the body. We're then going to take a bit of grizzle. And not that one. I'm looking for another one. Here we go. Bit of grizzle saddle. Put it in there just behind the bead. And bring it down the body. Now, as you can see, it's not a massive big grizzle as regards lengthwise of the hackles. We don't want to overload this fly. This turns right down and on. The turns tend to follow in a way what you did before, so just take your time. Wrap up the silver wire. Also a great still water pattern for the likes of your stocked fisheries and stuff like that. But this is again a must have for those midland locks. Take out our dubbing brush and make sure nothing's in our way. By just brushing back and making sure some of that UV straggle comes out through that hackle. And say you can tie it single beaded. I tie this right down to size 12s, 14s, and even 16s at times. Hi, doing Dennis Goulding's on with us there. How keeping well, Dennis? Now to finish off this fly, and one of the best parts of this fly, we take a little bit of Hen's metallic red dubbin. Okay, this is great stuff. Anyone's been playing around with this, they'll know what I mean, but it's great. So we just tease out a couple of strands. There's a nice subtle little piece there, as you can see. Probably a little bit too little, so I'll just tease out a few more. Happy enough for that. Fly upside down. I'm going to put a beard on this. 2 or 3 good turns in there underneath. Fold it back on itself. That metallic dubbin's quite strong, and it will you can see the way that beard goes back in under that fly. Again, folks, when that whole thing is wet, Dave Dunn. Hi, Michael. Michael Sex is on there. Please God, Michael. Please God. Happy Christmas to yourself too, Michael. Take another little bit of metallic dubbin, small little bit. Don't need to overload this. And just dub it onto your thread. Wraps on very easy. Very fine. And you give a bit of pressure there with the finger and thumb. And then just in around that bead, as you can see. Whip finish. Come out. Cut the thread there. The lightning in here isn't great. It doesn't look too bad for you guys and girls, but for me, it's I don't have any great direct light over the fly, so it can be a little bit, sometimes see that fine kevlar. Give it a bit of a brush back to get that beard up under that body. And you can see the way it tucks up there, lovely and neat, that metallic dubbing. Very subtle. I can tell you one thing, folks. I know I've told you twice or three times already tonight, but that's some yoke. With that metallic dubbing underneath, fry chasers, fish that just want to chase, stripping on the point, down deep with the bead, the twin eye bead. If if you're in tournaments, shorten it up. I tell you right down to size 16s. Fantastic point fly. Give us a look at that underside of that. We'll talk a little bit about that, the underside of that. I say we've got that UV underneath. So once that fly starts moving like that through the water, well then that UV will flash out. If there's something chasing it, that will be more than likely a point or a time when they'll see that UV and they'll give it a flash and they'll give it an attack. But you can see the way that dubbing tucks up, that metallic dubbing. If you're using the likes of seals for and stuff, doesn't tuck quite as well. That metallic dubbing's very easy to manipulate, and you can see it doesn't take away or doesn't stick down. Thanks, Dominic. Oh yeah, for sure. Sheelan lads do like it as well. Actually, you fishing that in Sheelan in September. You could have a very good time. Tying lots of colour combinations, but that's the one for me that I've been tried and tested and I've used quite a lot of and found it fantastic. Lochleen, thanks James, thanks Kieran, thanks Carol. There we have it, folks. That's the end of our show tonight. I hope everyone has enjoyed our Saturday night, enjoyed the couple of patterns. Thanks a million to our guest tire tonight, Desmond Paul. Thanks to all you lovely folks for coming on and commenting and having a bit of fun. Well done to Darius for winning our prize. I won't be giving away the flies tonight, folks, on Wednesday, from tonight on Wednesday, because they will be heading off along with another blast of flies to Desmond Paul for his charity raffle. If anyone wants to donate, please do. Get in touch with him on Facebook. And that's it. That's it for tonight. Another Saturday night over. Another Saturday night closer to Christmas. Hope everyone's getting ready. Hope everyone's enjoying the run in. Don't forget our live Christmas show will be on Wednesday the 29th. We're back here next Saturday night. Thanks Brian, thanks Jared, thanks Peter. But we're back on here next Saturday night. It's dry fly night. Not just for rivers. We're going to do some lock style stuff. Got a mayfly pattern coming up that you don't want to miss for the lock style. A tasty bit of time. I'm going to have to practice that one during the week. But hope everyone's enjoys the rest of their week. Enjoys the rest of Saturday night. If you're looking for anything for Christmas, folks, please do check out www.scarletfly.com. We really do appreciate your support and business here. And take care and good night, everyone. If anyone needs anything, give us a bell or drop in to see us here. Talk to you all next Saturday night. Be good. Best luck, Katie. Click the right buttons here now. There we go. Good night, everybody.